Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devin Saraswatin Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhaktin Bhavadir Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devagi Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. Today we are going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 5, text number 23. The canto name is The Cosmic Manifestation and the chapter name is The Cause of All Causes. So this is a discussion between Lord Brahma and Narada Muni. So Narada Muni, he wanted to know about this creation, and he was in the illusion that Brahma is the creator. Brahma is the whole and soul creator. So he was in that illusion. So he was asking the questions to Brahma, and Brahma is giving the answer. And Brahma is revealing that he is not a creator and he is the secondary creator. So let us start our today's sloka. Please repeat behind me. Mahatas tu vikurvāṇād.
Mahatas tu vikurvāṇād.
Rajaḥ-sattvopabṛṁhitāt.
Rajaḥ-sattvopabṛṁhitāt.
Tamaḥ-pradhānaḥ abhavad.
Tamaḥ-pradhānas abhavad.
Dravya-jñāna-kriyātmakaḥ.
Dravya-jñāna-kriyātmakaḥ.
Word by word meaning, please repeat behind me. Mahataḥ,
Mahataḥ.
of the mahat-tattva.
Of the mahat-tattva.
To, but, vikurvāṇād,
vikurvāṇāt.
being transformed. Rajaḥ,
the
material modes of passion.
material mode of passion.
Sattva,
Sattva,
the mode of goodness.
the mode of goodness.
Upabṛṁhitāt,
Upabṛṁhitāt,
because of being increased.
because of being increased.
Tamaḥ,
Tamaḥ,
the mode of darkness.
the mode of darkness.
Pradhānaḥ,
Pradhānaḥ,
being prominent.
being prominent.
To,
but
abhavat,
abhavat,
took place. Dravya,
dravya,
matter. Jnana, material knowledge. Kriyā-ātmakaḥ,
kriyā-ātmakaḥ,
predominantly material activities. Translation and purport by Divine Grace Abhay Charana A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation, please repeat behind me. Material activities are caused by the mahat-tattvas being agitated. At first, there is transformation of the modes of goodness and passion, and later, due to the mode of ignorance, matter, its knowledge, and different activities of material knowledge come into play. Purport. Material creations of every description are more or less due to the development of the mode of passion, rajas. The mahat-tattva is the principle of material creation. And when it is agitated by the will of the Supreme, at first, the mode of passion and goodness are prominent. And afterwards, the mode of passion, being generated in due course by material activities, of different varieties becomes predominant, and the living entities are thus involved more and more in ignorance. Brahma is the representation of the mode of passion, and Vishnu is the representation of mode of goodness, while the mode of ignorance is represented by Lord Shiva, the father of material activities. Material nature is called the mother, and the initiator for materialistic life is the father. Lord Shiva, all material creation by the living entities is therefore initiated by the mode of passion. With the advancement of the duration of life in a particular millennium, the different modes act by gradual development. In the as such age of Kali, when the mode of passion is most predominant, material activities of different varieties in the name of advancement of human civilization take place, and the living entities become more and more involved in forgetting their real identity. The spiritual nature, by a slight cultivation of the mode of goodness, a glimpse of spiritual nature is perceived. But due to the prominence of the mode of passion, the mode of goodness becomes adulterated. Therefore, one cannot transcend the limits of the material modes. And therefore, realization of the Lord, who is always transcendental to the modes of material nature, becomes very difficult for the living entities. Even though prominently situated in the mode of goodness, through cultivation of the various more methods. In other words, the gross matter or Adi Bhudam, their maintenance is Adi Daivam, and the initiator of material activities is called Adi Atma. In the material world, these three principles act as predominant features, namely as raw material, its regular supplies, and its use is different varieties of material creation for sense enjoyment by the bewilderment of entities of this. Hare Krishna. Ajnana-timirandasya jnanāñjana-śalākaya chakshurunmilitamyena tasmai Shri Guruve namaha namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavad Pashasha Deshatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today's sloga, it is again the discussion between Narada Muni and Brahma. And Brahma is giving the how the creation is happening, the step by step. And in detail is giving. So by the agitation of mahat-tattva. So what is the mahat-tattva? Mahat-tattva is, we'll call the Karana Dakshai Vishnu. Yesterday we discussed Karana Dakshai Vishnu. From him, the material creation is happening. So what is the reason for that? It is again, so this material activities, when the mahat-tattva is getting agitated, then the creation is happening. So how it is happening, how the transformation is happening, it is first because of the mode of goodness and passion. And when the passion is increasing, then the mode of ignorance is coming to play. And because of that, the different activities in the material world is come into play. So this is the way the Brahma is giving the knowledge. But it is a little bit difficult to understand, but it is for our understanding. Prabhupada gave the elaborated purport over here. So Prabhupada is telling here that you can see that. So there are three deities or representations of this three modes. Lord Brahma is the representation of the mode of passion. Lord Vishnu is the representation of mode of goodness, and Lord Shiva is the representation of mode of ignorance. So the mode of the material world is taken care by Lord Shiva. That's why he is the father of the material activities. And the material nature, it is called the mother. So all these activities, or whatever the activities happening in this material world, it is all overseen by Lord Shiva and Ma Parvati. So the it is said that Lord Shiva is the mode of ignorance. It's a representation of mode of ignorance. That means it is not that Lord Shiva is ignorant. Lord Shiva is the controller of that mode. It is not that he is in ignorance. He is not in ignorance. Lord Shiva is the great devotee of the Lord, and he is working under the instructions of the Lord, and he is taking care of the mode of ignorance. And because of that, currently in the current world, we are in the Kali Yuga. Because of this agitation of this more predominant is mode of passion. That's what Prabhupada is telling this purport. The Kali Yuga, the more predominant is mode of passion. Because of that, all the activities are happening in this material world. We are trying to advance in scientific. We are modern. That's why we are turning into the modern world. We are in the modern world. We are trying to advance in the material world. If you see the olden days, maybe some 200 years back and all, people are not much interested in the increasing the material things. They live very peaceful life. But as long as the Kali day by day, the Kali is it's showing his real face. Because of that, there are a lot of, because of the mode of passion is increasing. So that's the reason that we are getting into the scientific advancement, this and that. But we forget what is our real purpose over here. There was a morning walk talk by Srila Prabhupada. During that time, one of the disciples, he was asking, so Prabhupada, what is the first qualification to go back to Godhead, to go out of this material world? So then Prabhupada replied that when a person is understanding that this world is full of miseries, that is the first qualification to go out of this material world. Because we are not thinking that this world is full of miseries. We are trying to adjust in this material world, whatever the miseries we are going through. We are thinking that, okay, it is sometime it will be there and we need to try to adjust over here. So that is the way we are thinking. So, and there is a story also given by Prabhupada. See, Indra, who was cursed by a Durvasa Muni, so he need to be a pig in this material world. It's a hog. So he was entered this earth and he became a hog, and because of the curse he was there in material world, here in the earth. During that time he got married, he had so many children. What is the hog will do? It will stay in the filthy place, and it will always, the drainage, it will go into the filthy places, and it will try to find out anything is there for eatables, and it is enjoying his sex life, and it is having the children. So that is it is fully enjoyable for the hog. So being Indra became a hog, during that time also, he is also he put under that Maya. Because of that Maya illusion, even though he was the heavenly king, heaven is more higher than the earthly planet. Whatever the facilities are there in the material world, 100 times more are there in the heavenly planets as per the scriptures. Even though he came from that place, when he put under the Maya and when he put in the form of hog, he was accepted that, and he was enjoying in that position. So when Narada Muni, when his time is getting over, the curse time is getting over, that time Narada Muni came to him, and he is asking, Indra, why don't you come back? Because your curse is over. You are a Indra, you are a king of the heavenly planets, and you are becoming a hog, and because of your curse, you became a hog, you are struggling over there. So now you come back to the heavenly planet. That's what Narada Muni asked. During that time, because of that attraction of this material world, even though whatever position we are, even though the hog who is to stay in the drainage or in the filthy places, and Indra was replying in the form of hog, is replying that, no, I am happy over here. Actually, I have so many children. Let me take care of the children. Let me take care of the family. Later, I will come to the Sargaloka, to heavenly planet. So that is the response got from Indra. So even though the material world, whatever the position, that is a dog, hog, everybody, it is trying to enjoy in this material world. But originally, the material world is very miseries. There are so many miseries are there in this material world. And in Bhagavatam pages, we can understand from the prayers of Kunti, Queen Kunti. So Queen Kunti, she was the mother of Pandavas, and she is the aunt of Lord Sri Krishna. So even though she is in that qualification, but she also faced so many problems in this material world. His husband died, he lost her husband, he lost the kingdom, and they sent to, along with the children, when their children were in the childhood, there are so many ways the Kauravas trying to kill them. They set a fire, they put the poison. There are so many ways they give the trouble to them, and they send them to the jungle, forest. So for 12 years, and one year they had to the 30 total 13 years. 12 years they had to be in the jungle, and 1 year they had to be in the Ajnanavasa. So even the Kundi is she was going through all these problems. And she had in the meantime, she had 5 children who are they are not a normal human being. They are the divine people. Actually, they were the sons of demigods. So they have so much of power. And Arjuna is the he has the great name in the bow and arrow when he is the master in it. And Bhima is the great powerful man, like an elephant. So he has that much power he has. So even though and Dharma, Yudhishthira, he is the Dharmaraj. He is following the Dharma like anything. So all these qualities people are there with Kunti, but still she was facing so much of problems in this material world. So, and even though she was going through all these problems, what is her final prayer? She is praying to the Lord that with full surrender, she was saying that, see, this material calamities, I'm ready to take this material calamities, material problems, all these miseries, let it come again and again to me. Why? Because of that only I'm able to remember the Lord, I'm able to remember you because of these problems. So otherwise, I would have in the forgetful mood. So if I'm able to remember you, I wanted to remember you always. So I'm ready to take this material miseries. So that is the mood of the devotee. But the non-devotees, what is their mood? They will stay away from this all this devotional activities. They don't have believe on these devotional activities. They are thinking that, and that's why in that way Prabhupada was explaining to the disciple, and the disciple immediately told that, okay, sometimes this material world is good. That's what he told. Then immediately Prabhupada told, no, that is ignorance. When we are feeling that sometimes it is good, that is ignorance, because it is always dukkalayam. Dukkalayam asashvatam. Krishna himself is saying dukkalayam asashvatam. The dukkalayam, there won't be a sometimes goodness won't be there. It is you won't feel good sometimes. That is because of ignorance. You are feeling that is good. So then he was giving the example, the prison house, when to extract a truth from the criminals, the police, they used to give the treatment, water treatment. How they give the water treatment? They'll push him in the water, and until unless he was trying to come out from this water, then they will hold his head and push in the water, and he will struggle to breathe. And when he was about to die, then immediately they will took it out from the water. Then what he will feel? That person whose face was inside of the water, he was unable to breathe, and water is going here and there. Then when the person is taking out from the water, then immediately he will feel the relief. Then he will feel, oh, I got a relief. And immediately they will push him in the water. Because this is the way they can give the torture, and they will extract the truth from the criminals. So whatever, we are also in one point of time, in the one point of view, we are also criminals. So we wanted to enjoy the glory to this material world. That is the reason Lord put us in this as a criminals. So like how the criminals, that while doing that water treatment, they are taking out from the water for a few seconds, and he is feeling the relief. This is feeling it is good. That is the way, the material way of life in this material world also in that way only. So we are feeling that it is good, but most of the time we are in the miseries only. So when we get, there is a gap between two miseries. So that gap, it is just a gap only. So we are feeling that gap is I'm enjoying in that gap. But that is not a gap, that is a small interval between two miseries, that's all. So it is not a real, it's not a real goodness in that, real good in that. So that is the way Prabhupada explained. That is very much true in this material world also. So because of the curse, we are all agitated with our sense gratification. This entire world, whatever the world we are living in, this material world, this world is called Maithuna Agara. That means circle of sex life. Because this world is running center around this sex life. So since we wanted to enjoy the sense, enjoy our senses, that is the reason Lord put us here in this material world. So this is actually a curse. So when the person understand we are in the curse, I need to go out, and this is not a sense gratification is not my position to work for the Lord's satisfy the Lord's senses is my original position. When the person thinking, when a person understanding that, when he started working on that direction, that will give the relief and go out of this material world. Until unless what will happen is continuously we will be there in this material world only. And it is in Bhagavad Gita, it is said that in 3.39, what Krishna himself is saying about this material world. What he is saying, we will see. Avratam jnanam etena nanino nitya vairina kama rupena kaundeya dashpurena nalena cha. So he is saying, thus the wise living entity's pure consciousness become covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire. So the material activities, because of the lust, we are putting under this material mode, material modes, and we are controlled by the material modes. We are in this material world. So here Krishna is saying that it is never going to satisfy. We cannot satisfy our angering, material angering. It is never going to satisfy. Okay. So that for example, we are giving, I'm in this, I want, if I'm getting the 1 lakh for 50,000 salary, so it is not enough. Oh, let me get 1 lakh salary. So once we get into the 1 lakh salary, okay, 1 lakh salary is also not enough. We will increase our spending also in that level. So once when we are getting the 1 lakh salary, okay, 1 lakh salary also not enough. Let me get 2 lakhs. So when we get 2 lakhs, that time also it is not enough. 4 lakhs, 8 lakhs, 16 lakhs. When you double the amount, as much as even though you are giving the crores of money, that time also you won't get satisfied. We will be trying to get more and more. That is why it is said that if there is a fire is happening, if you are continuously you are sending a fuel to that fire, what will happen? The fire burn continuously, constantly it will fire. Yes, it's getting the fuel. So we are thinking that, okay, so I wanted to feel the material way, even the devotees also think in that way. Okay, currently I'm getting this salary. So with this salary, I can only maintain my family only. So if I get some more money, so that I will go to the foreign countries, I will save the money so that I can come back and I can continue, I can do the devotional activities. This is the way even the devotees will thinking. But what is happening ultimately, when you go and to the other countries, when you connect with the money again, what is happening? Our sense enjoyment is again getting agitated because we are under the controls of modes of nature. Again, it is getting agitated. Okay, we are there. We will forget this purpose. Okay, I need to go back to India. We will forget that again. What we will do? We will continue there only. Okay, let me get there also. We'll see. Okay, I came over here. I am spending so much of money for rent. Let me get a house over here. Oh, when then we are getting the house, okay, transportation is a problem. Let me get a car over here. So like that, we will keep on increasing our material position only, we try to increase our material position only. So it will always, it will add at the, if you added the fuel into the our lust, what will happen? It will continuously, it will, the fire will happen. It will never going to satisfy. So there should be a, that's why Krishna himself is saying that constantly, if you send a fuel to the fire, it's never going to be satisfied. So lust, our lust also is like a fire. So if you fuel it constantly, continuously, it is never going to stop. And in 5.22, in the 5th chapter, Bhagavad Gita 5.22, Krishna is saying that, Ye samsparsha bhoga dukkha yonayo yevate adi yantava kaunteya ateshu ramate buddha. Krishna is saying that an intelligent person does not take part in the source of misery which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kundi, such pleasure have a beginning and the end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. Krishna talking about the intelligent person. So Kandla, the intelligent person, he won't take part in the material miseries, the source of the miseries. What he will do, intelligent person, he knows well that the whatever the pleasure we are getting in the material world, it has the starting and it has the end also. For example, if a person is started smoking, so what will happen? So initially it will give the pleasure to him, and after the certain period of time, it will increase. It will get into the pleasure. What will happen? He will addicted to that smoke, and the smoking. He will start with the one cigarette, and it is keep on continuing, and he will increase the cigarettes. Yes, he is getting the pleasure out of it. And finally, what will happen? Then so much of cigarette, lungs lung problem, tuberculosis will happen, and sometimes nowadays it is cancer is happening. Even though the cigarette packets, all the advertisements are there, the cigarette packet itself, the government is informing that, okay, let us put the patient photo here. If the people, you will, is dangerous to health. That's advertisements are there in the packet itself. But still, people are not ignoring that, and they going against their health. And what they are doing, they are keep on smoking. So this is the way the material world is running. So even though you are informed that this is not good for your health, it is danger, but because of this addiction, they cannot relieve from this material world, because those people are less intelligent persons. So what is the end for them? They will, when you get the cancer, then they will stop it. During that time also, the agitation will be there. Internally, the agitation will be there. I need to smoke. But because of their disease, they will stop that. So that's the reason it is material miseries, material senses, whatever the sense gratification we are doing through the material things, it has the beginning and end. In the intelligent person, he knows very well that it won't give us any pleasure. So he won't affected by this, by such material sense gratifications. So that is who is the intelligent persons? The persons who is in the Krishna consciousness. So the Krishna consciousness will only the medicine to go out of this material world. So we are all the diseased person in this material world, and the Krishna consciousness is the medicine. By taking the Krishna consciousness properly, by doing the whatever our acharyas are saying, the instructions, doing the chanting and eating prasadam and following the four regularity principles and association with the devotees, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. If a person make his life very simple and adopt these activities, then he can get the success in this material world. Success in the sense, what is the success? At the end of the life, he can go back to Godhead. He won't come back again in this material world. Even though his bhakti is not completed, even though he's coming back again in this material world, the Lord, as Lord said in the Bhagavad Gita, Deha Bikramana Soste Pratyavayo na Vidyate Solpam Abhyasya Dharmasya Trayato Mahato Bhayan. Even though a certain small level of devotional activities we are doing, if you are going to do, that will save you from the great danger. So if you are not able to complete the devotional activities in this life, what will happen? The next life, God will give the chance to continue where you stop, and you will give the arrangements that to continue your bhakti in the next life. That is the way Lord is guarantee also. Lord is giving the guarantees also. So the only way to go out of these material miseries, material problems is to continue to catch hold of Krishna's lotus feet. So to catch hold of the acharyas, bona fide acharyas, who is giving this knowledge and who is taking us to this, to the Krishna, to they only by catching hold of this their lotus feet only we can go out of this material world. So please, whatever the opportunities we got, it is very, very valuable. Don't don't so don't miss this opportunity, because this is, if you miss this opportunity, you will be drowned in the material miseries. So we got this opportunity. We already have got a rope to go out of this material. We are in the well. It's kind of a well. We are inside of the well. So inside of the well, there is a rope. So Krishna consciousness is there to go out. So if you catch hold, you can go out. If you're not catching, you are staying in the inside the well. But even though by touching the rope, it won't help. So you need to climb in that. What is the climbing? By chanting the holy name of the Lord, eating the prasadam, following the four regulative principles, reading scriptures, following the acharyas. That is the way we can climb over the rope and come out of this material miseries called this well called the material miseries, material world. So please continue your sadhana so that we can go out of this material world one day. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Hare Krishna.